Hello everyone, Trophy Wine Hunter. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a review of the 2020 the Serre Nuove, and this is the second wine of Ornellaia. I have previously done a review of the 2018 vintage, and I'll put that at the end of this video. And you'll ask, well, why am I reviewing this? Well, a friend came over, they just came back from Italy, they bought this wine, they wanted to try with me. It's a little young, but we thought, well, what the heck, let's do it. And so we opened it up, we had it with some nice meats, some seafood, everything under the sun, and we didn't pick and pair the tasting. So we opened it, decanted it, it's now been overnight, and so it's well aired at this point. We probably had it out for about 2 to 2.5 hours, and then I put it back in the fridge. So it should be well aired now. When it came out of the bottle, very tannic, but after about an hour, it softened. It was getting much better as the night wore down, so it's interesting to taste it again today. If you want a little bit more history, I'll go back to the previous video I did, just kind of a couple of things. It is really a true second wine in that it uses the same vineyard or wine vines that Ornellaia does. It might be younger vines. The blend is a little bit more Merlot dominant compared to Ornellaia, which is more Cabernet Sauvignon dominant. The name, the Serre Nuove, stands for the new greenhouse, and Ornellaia is the place of ash trees. So good producer. It's now owned by Frescobaldi, and again, you can refer back to my old video with the history of the winery. So this is more a tasting. It's kind of a shorter video. I'm not going to go through the actual bottle and the color of the wine because it's going to be fairly similar to the 2018. So it's more just to get a taste of this and to kind of compare it a little bit to the 2018. The blend of the 2020 the Serre Nuove is 44% Merlot, 30% Cabernet Sauvignon, 13% Cabernet Franc, and 13% Petit Verdot. So looking back to the 2018 vintage, it was more a 50-50 mix, like about 30% of Cab Sauv and Merlot, and then fairly equal with the two minor grapes, Petit Verdot and Cabernet Franc. It's aged in oak for, I think, 15 months, and I think 25% is new oak and then 75% is 1-year-old oak. So let's taste it. So on the smell, it's quite fruit forward. You can smell the alcohol content, so it's going to be high alcohol, I think, and I think it is 14.5%. It does remind me slightly of American wines, but not quite. It's got that herbal, some herbs, like Italian spices too, which I don't get normally from American Napa Cab, but yeah, it's got that real fruity aroma to it. On the taste, it's actually quite mild. When entry into the mouth is very mild, very soft, and that's the Merlot, I think. Now we're coming with some earthiness. We do have the fruits, so the black plums, the black currants. I almost want to say there's a little spice on this, like on the end of the aftertaste. But lots of dark fruit on this for sure. It's very pleasant, but I'm just kind of going through it in my mind. It doesn't taste like a Bordeaux, right bank, Merlot dominant wine, because it doesn't, for me, Bordeaux's don't have as much alcohol content, and there's a slight bit of aftertaste that you don't get with Bordeaux here. It's almost like a spiciness or a cinnamon nutmeg type note to it that I don't find with Bordeaux. And it's not Napa Cab. Obviously this is Merlot, but it's got that fruitiness, the fruitiness of a Napa, but it's not Napa Cab because it doesn't have that astringency of Cabernet also. So it's kind of in between. It's a very unique wine, very drinkable. And I think that's why Italian wines are so popular with people, because people that like Bordeaux, it has elements of Bordeaux wines, and people who like Napa, it has elements of Napa wines. So it kind of is in the middle, and that's why I think it's so well loved by so many people. I'm going back forth in my mind. I think it's young, and I'm just comparing to the 2018. If you had asked me last night, I would have thought that this is more drinkable than the 2018. But now I'm tasting it again today. There is a tannic structure to this wine. It's still soft and subtle. So I think you can drink it right now, but I think it'll only get better. I think it's not for long-term aging, so I wouldn't hold it out for 10 years. But I would give it 3 to 5 years to flesh out a bit. Again, right now, I don't have the wine spectator. I'll have it in the comment section. To me, it's very similar to the 2018 in quality, maybe 91, 92 points. It's hard to say which one I like better. Just in my memory from the 2018, I like that also. But I didn't think it was accessible as this wine. I think this is a little bit more accessible, a little bit more, draws you in a little bit more. So I actually might give this 92 points. I think I gave the other 2018 a 91 point. I just think this is a more drinkable wine, and I think long term it's gonna be more warm in terms of its feeling. It's just more encompassing. I think I like the fruit structure. I think it's youthful right now. It's got some kinks right now that will need to work out in terms of the tannins and just the balance. But I really like the structure of the fruit. I like the entry of this wine. I like how smooth it is and soft it is when it enters the mouth. So and I like the power that it shows right now. Little funky right now just because of its youth, but really good wine. I think it's 92 points. Needs about 3 years to 5 years, but the drinking window is going to be short too. It's going to be probably drink within the next 8 years. Drinkable right now for sure, if you decant it for maybe 3 hours, but still on the young side, obviously. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy drinking.